According to an updated phone conversation with Flock on the inside, Clock's attorneys worked hard to get Flock released in 2025.
I know what's going on, man. Flock, I know something big deal. Man, like, free me to the guys, man. Hey, yo, like, I'll be back real soon. Shout out to my fans and my supporters, man. I love all y'all, man. For all of you out there, violence, man. For me, and do what y'all supposed to do, man. For me, get through life correctly, bro. Like, get money. You know, man, I'll see you real soon.
A source claims that Flock's crew voiced concerns about the rapper's current situation in prison, saying that he is often embroiled in fights because other convicts are pursuing him for commissary items, cash, and snacks. The way that Charleston White handled Melly's case, where she was charged similarly to Flock, is similar to how Ryan W. Melly handled hers. Flock was found to have filed a bond request with the court early this morning. His incarceration dates back to 2021.
The YMW Melly, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated. Yeah, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated, homie. Homie, when you take a life, homie, you ain't got a right to complain about a motherfucking thing, about being mistreated. When you done chose to play somebody.
According to the most recent court filings, Oscar Hernandez was murdered on December 23, 2021 by Flock, a New York rapper better known by his stage name, Kevin Perez. Flock and two other people were strolling through the city when they came to the barbershop. Because of the charges against him, Flock is presently in jail, but his lawyers expect him to be released shortly. Wearing a blue jacket and what appears to be a shine mask, Flock walks by the store. The man, identified as Oscar Hernandez, asked Flock, "What are you looking at?" when he came out and noticed her walking by. This caused the two, who had been fighting for some time, to start arguing in the street. Hernandez then began to return inside the barbershop, but Flock wasn't done and used a pistol he had taken from his belt to attack Oscar Hernandez. Police and paramedics responded to many 911 calls after Hernandez was shot in the back and neck. Hernandez was immediately rushed to the local hospital, where only his slides and the bullet shells from the Flock's pistol remained. At first, the police were unable to identify the masked wearer. They posted this image of the main suspect as soon as they could and asked for help identifying the individual. Because of the $4,000 clothing he had been showing off on Instagram just hours before, fans knew it was Flock right away. Police were able to obtain a warrant for Kevin Perez after contacting fans. After understanding they had him, he spent his last free moment hiring one of the top solicitors in the industry, and he eventually joined the NYPD's 30th Precinct. I'd accompanied Flock to the 30th Precinct yesterday to listen to his lawyer's remarks after he surrendered himself. We began looking into the charges against him when I found out he was wanted. However, the NYPD received the tip that someone else was the hitter as a result of the district attorney's significant discovery this morning. Therefore, we request that the films included in the complaint be provided by the district attorney's office. After we have had a chance to study the case and carefully consider the disclosure, we will talk about bail. After examining all of the federal evidence, Clock's lawyer came to the conclusion that Clock had acted in self-defense.
When the guy hits the ground and is found, he's got a loaded that was in his pocket that his hand was on at the time. We consider that to be self-defense.
So he did take him in self-defense.
That's what the allegation is. I don't want to talk too much about the details of the case,
Okay.
But the government claims that he pulled the... But at the same time, the person that was ground had his hand on a illegal loaded, apparently about Kevin.
Okay. So without saying too much, you're arguing obviously self-defense. That's the crux.
That could be one of the arguments, self-defense. And I would say to the public, somebody's walking up to you with a loaded, it's pretty clear is going to use it, with a criminal record a mile long. Do you want to get or do you not want it?
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't hesitate to pull it.
The interaction occurred because Flock was a member of a Bronx Street squad, according to the NYPD. Flock's lengthy history of street-related offenses and his standing with New York street teams allowed him to manage a lot of situations, and when his operations retaliated, they frequently picked him out. By bringing up the street team affiliation, the NYPD is attempting to discredit K. Flock in this instance, although FL's best friend expressed his opinion to us.
Okay, but so I saw some fans who were off at both me and academics after K. Flock got locked up because, well, just because I guess, like, you know, in our tone when we talked about it, you know, it might have seemed like we were being a little too presumptuous. But is that weird for you? Because I'm sure you see people all the way from rappers to whoever acting like, you know, your boy is just done and he's cooked in this situation.
I ain't gonna lie, people, especially people that don't even be knowing, like, y'all don't even know what's going on, bro.
Yeah.
Flock's attorneys concluded that his defense of self-defense offered the best opportunity for his release, that they were certain they could have won the case and that K. Flock would have been free in 2025. Rappers paid attention to his case.
What's it like for you watching the K. Flock thing happen? That's crazy. Next big artist coming out of New York.
I love Flock, so I like that. I like that. That's why I get it.
Okay.
But, you know, I'm wishing him the best right now, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, for the alleged charges they pushing on him, you know what I'm saying? I'm wishing his family the best. I'm wishing the whole team the best and everything, you know what I'm saying? And I hope he beat them alleged charges, you know what I'm saying? Because he got a lot of future brightness he got, and I hope, you know what I'm saying? Everything just wake all the young kids up. Like how fat it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That would be a sad story if that's the end of it.
No, we ain't gonna think like that, you know what I'm saying?
As his team ready for his defense, it was disclosed the following week that K. Flock had been indicted by a federal grand jury on a number of fresh allegations of racketeering conspiracy, or RICO charges. Hip-hop musicians and fans posted a statement expressing their concern for him, with one saying, "K. Flock just caught a RICO. It's over." DJ Academics claims that K. Flock was recently charged by the federal government on a RICO charge and that he faces a life term in prison if he doesn't win or snitch. In line with the Fed's goal of banning rappers, this is almost exactly the same as Bowie's comment regarding Y and Melly's case, which says they will do whatever it takes to get you.
When they want you, they want you. I knew they wanted them bad when they waited for that law to get passed. So it'd be 8-4.
Oh, right, yeah.
You know, they waited all the way till that law got passed to take him to trial.
Yeah, he was in jail for what, 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah, they could have been took you to trial.
You're right.
They waited till that law got passed and took him to trial a couple months later. When they want you, man. Just don't see how he didn't get a bond after a fucking mistrial.
In a statement, K. Fleece's lawyers said they were confused by the RICO allegations against him and were not surprised by the federal charges. They have been battling charges from Kevin State for over a year. The charge wasn't very strong because the occurrence was obviously an act of self-defense, but it's amazing that it's now being utilized as the foundation for a possible penalty case. It's evident from the video that Kevin was on the verge of getting hurt after attempting to run away from the other individual. It wasn't until then that Kev used something to defend himself and another from an armed teammate who was going to pull his gun out of his pocket. According to the academic's report, Flock's co-defendant, Sticky, was urged to turn on Flock, but he refused, stating, "I'll see you in 30 years. Sticky shared a picture of himself on Instagram with the words, "I guess we got to defend our freedom together too." You may remember that Oscar Hernandez was seen reaching into his pocket on the scene's camera before K. Flock carried out the murder. K. Flock must have felt nervous and worried that Oscar might try to play a practical joke on him because he was surrounded by rival street people. She responded, "Tell us about Kevin. Take care of yourself. 30 years is a long period. I suppose we will cross paths in 30 years. The federal authorities will attempt to convince at least 15 more people to come forward with information about the case, despite the amazing loyalty of Flock's best buddy. A settlement is probably going to be accepted because the majority of the team will not be willing to serve the 30 years. Lil Durk discovered that his co-defendant, OTF Voney, had requested protective custody when he appeared in court this week. Bezo, L. Durk's friend, replied to the news on Instagram Live. This brings to mind the Lil Durk case, when accusations of snitching against him were subsequently proven to be false.
No motherfucker know what's going on.
but them people that's in them courtrooms, man, for real, them be false accusations. Y'all don't even know what the be going on for real. Y'all really be trying to play Inspector Gadget and all this. Y'all just be weird as hell. That's what I be talking about, man. Like, first y'all done threw the jams rumors out there. Now y'all talking about Vonnie a snitch, gang. A snitch on what? Y'all don't even really know what's going on for real. My kids, y'all really just be running. And that's why I don't participate in nothing that got to do with nothing illegal. Because of you motherfuckers, y'all be trying to get them put under the jail.
After everything, we finally got a call from K Flock himself. It appears that Clock is doing well in prison. However, we don't know how he did it. He joined several of his free world acquaintances in a FaceTime conversation. While he told us that he had commissary money to buy anything he needed, some fans think that he has been really scared while he has been in prison because he doesn't seem like the self-assured K Flock that we are used to seeing. The brief conversation lasted only about 20 seconds, and although I'm afraid copyright prohibits me from releasing these pictures, they make it quite evident how he's been feeling about his case and how he's been doing internally.